What's going on, Nerd Supremes? Guess what? We're back. It's the reemergence of... fuck that one up. It's the reemergence of the Iron Blerdz. It is I, the historian, the one formerly known as Night Dragon, but just call me Azari. Strokes and all, I'm here. But we have some new faces and some old faces. But before we get to that, let me introduce you to the tech wizard himself, the gamester, Blackstar. Say what's up, Blackstar.
Hello, welcome back to the Iron Blerdz 2.0. Long time to hear from. Glad to be back. Also, like to introduce one of our awesome co-hosts, Icy Notes.
Hello, everybody. This is Icy Notes. Still traveling the timeline here, but we have two new hosts. Our first host is the Wiz himself, the Dark Wizard himself.
Hello, it is I, the Dark Wizard. I like to think that I'm in my villain era, but I'm actually pretty nice. But I am so excited to be a part of this podcast. There's another new host, and I claim myself to be an antagonist. So what is an antagonist? What I'm a protagonist. So no, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Main character syndrome. Super lucky to be here with these guys and be a part of this podcast, be a part of this journey. And, us main characters like to get straight to the point. So without further ado, let's stop playing around. Let's make a podcast.
All right. And with that being said, let's get to it. So, with that, since it is five of us, there are five of us now. We've grown, we've multiplied. With that, why not let them get to know us again, get to know the new faces. But, let's start with something simple. So, I'm pretty sure they all want to know, how we got here. So, what brought us to this nerd culture of ours? Dark Wizard, what brings you here?
Oh, so much. As far as video games, I can remember being a wee little lad. It was like maybe 5 and playing Donkey Kong Country with my cousin and like beating levels on that. And I thought I was like the best at that game. But as far as animes, I want to say Sailor Moon was my first one, but I remember watching Big O as a kid too. So it's like between those two that kind of got me into it, and I was immediately hooked. So like that's how I kind of got immersed in this nerd culture.
Right. See, Sailor Moon was one of mine too. I think for some of us, we all have them kind of lanes where we kind of intertwine. Sailor Moon was mine. I can't really say video games was my forte because I sucked. I was terrible. I was horrible. I was trash. If I had to play with my kids stuff today, I would whip my own ass. What are you doing? Like, but Icy Notes. Come on, step to the podium.
Well. No, actually, it was my brothers. My brothers are the ones who got me more into like comic books and X-Men. It was X-Men. X-Men was first for me, so they have a strong connection with X-Men. Video games, probably it was definitely I want to say Mario. Between Mario and Sonic. And then for like anime, well, I guess I did that more on my own. It was Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. I did watch Dragon Ball Z a lot when I was younger.
I mean,
go wrong. It's a staple.
Still on to this day, Dragon Ball Z. You can't go wrong.
I'm gonna say,
yeah.
Excuse me, you can't go wrong with Dragon Ball Z with some people. Speaking of Blackstar,
let's go to the Dark Hole himself.
How'd you get?
I mean, the Blackstar.
Excuse me, first of all, I like Dragon Ball Z just because it takes 50 episodes to power up and use a launch attack. Doesn't mean I don't like the show or not. But Dragon Ball Z is the stuff. Don't say it's not, because you know it is. It takes
shows have a lot of
20
fillers,
episodes. Though. It's not filler. It can take 20 episodes to fight one person. No, don't. Just go somewhere.
To me, that's a filler because about 5 episodes in, I'm like, can we call a draw?
Yes.
Right.
But I started to read that on Foxbox when I started watching Samurai Pizza Cats, Sailor Moon, when they all used to show up on that show on there. And I want to say Escaflowne, the cows, the giant robot, the blue ones, that had a really nice theme song. Those were my starter anime that got me into Blerdom. And for video game wise, I'm gonna go with my big brother. He started me off with the traditional beating him up. Street Fighter 2. Constant with ads, getting my ass beat by guy on the sonic booms and flash kicks, and I stick on my traditional 10 fireballs and shoryukens and everything like that. Eventually came
Totally
out
best.
beat. Yes,
I said
he
trauma.
was the
I said
best.
trauma.
Second best. Chun-Li. Sorry, Cammy's still better.
All right. I said some unresolved issues.
Oh no, it came
Lay
back.
it out there,
Just
Black
leave.
Star. We're
When
here
new
for
Street
you.
Fighters came out, I'm better. It's a lot better.
He's not freezing. He's we're here for
Leave it to you. Snow.
I'll always make the joke about how my
Come on,
mom
man,
used to
save
forget
us.
to feed me
What's-
playing
how
The
did you
Legend of
get
Zelda
here?
Link to the Past. It's not a joke. Talk about trauma. Yeah.
It's got dark.
I almost joked.
but-
I almost choked.
Trend.
But Legend of Zelda Link to the Past was like one of the
Because
first
you
games
wanna
I remember
know.
like, oh, this is fun. What is this? This is a video game. And from there, I jumped into like Super Mario World and all that. I didn't start with like the Atari and all that, or like the original Sega. I did retrospectively go back and enjoy those titles, but the first game I remember for me that made me realize like, oh, this is serious was the original Legend of Zelda, and then Link to the Past. And then as far as like branching out, I started getting stuff like Metroid, like Super Metroid. I used to play stuff like Battletoads, obviously Street Fighter. I'm a huge video game buff. And the train just took off and they never left. I ripped the brakes off and just let it keep running. And as far as anime, getting woken up at 2 a.m. to the Inuyasha theme song, obviously Sailor Moon. Yeah. I would wake up.
Somo Tamogotchi.
I would wake up so
Whatever they said.
What is that?
The red flowers,
right.
the red lily
From
flowers.
there, like Toonami, Adult Swim, obviously Dragon Ball Z, you got your Outlaw Stars, you got your Trigun, you got your Cowboy Bebop, which is one of my favorites of all time. And again, just like with the analogy with the video games, rip the brakes off the train and just the train brought me here to the Blerdz. So I mean, here I am.
Hey, well, welcome. We welcome you. Throw the cake on his back. Welcome off the stage. Schmitty, show him the dough. All right, so we talked a lot about video games, guys. So I have to ask you, everybody has that one channel. So we all talked about Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows that was like the original part of the original Toonami lineup with what was it? I think it was Gundam Wing and something else. Yes.
Reboot.
Then they had like Reboot and shit on there. It was dope. But
yeah,
so we all
Reboot.
had that go-to channel. Yeah, the little Reboot.
The tap the little pendant on the chest and the transfer to a video game or something like that. It's really different.
Man, them boxy ass graphics, but that's still a classic.
I'm gonna say right because it was not where it's at.
The 3D
what was it?
shows.
Hexadecimal?
The 3D shows did not hit.
I don't know my name.
And
That was
Megabyte.
the-
It was my favorite video.
That was the blockiest womanly figure.
Shape didn't make sense.
Right, the shape just didn't make sense. I was like, "Is this what?" I was like 5, sitting there like, "Is
Yeah,
what?"
I don't think they
Raven
got 3D animation right.
That's what
I don't think they got 3D animation right until Code Lyoko dropped.
I'm kind of scared, but I'm
Everything
kind of
else after
intrigued.
that was kind of everything is kind of shaky.
Oh God. Okay, so speaking of all of them, so everybody had their favorite channel they kind of ran to, whether it was after school or in my case would sneak and stay up and watch like Adult Swim and stuff. So what was everybody's go-to channel as a kid? Let's start with Black Star. What you used to run to? Where was your home?
That was a very tough decision. I think during the weekdays, my go-to channel had to be Toonami, because that has, the Tommy block at 4 p.m., 4 to 6 p.m. when they play, like you said, Sun Moon. Reboots, Gundam, all the different versions of Gundam. I think the first one had on was Gundam, the best. There was another show in there too. I want to say it was Mare, Magical Awareness Merchants. That was my Monday through Friday schedule used to watch.
I don't remember that one. Anybody
It
else
used to
remember
come
that?
on Toonami a while ago. And then it went to Toonami Jetstream. It was a guy Geekto with a giant hammer.
That actually does sound familiar. That sounds familiar. That rings a bell. I just can't place it.
Oh, now look into that.
Which one was it?
Good. Mirror Magical Awareness Readiness or something like that. That's the one. Where are we posted to our pages?
We were all too young. Black Star is older than us. Was playing.
Right.
We
were all kids.
I was around when One Piece did come out with the pirate rap, the one everybody hates about Back on the Fox. That was my favorite.
Yes.
I did too.
Maybe.
Who doesn't like Geigo Go by the Gum Gum? Screaming.
I'm a reserve my thoughts
for like reasons
on that.
Yes.
All right, so pretty much. So Toonami. That's kind of I was split. Sometimes I would miss to. Well, it's okay. I can be split if I want to.
I said I was split too.
So did you watch the WB thing then? Because I kind of would skip Toonami sometimes to like watch. Like I want to watch Batman because they had who?
They had stock on it too, and Justice League, and some Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon too as well. Before it switched over from one end to the other end.
Vaguely.
Yes.
Okay, so do you guys remember the Batman Superman Adventures?
I was more of a Batman Beyond kind of guy. I didn't really mess with DC till late.
What? Vaguely? No.
I was more of a static. Shock in Batman Beyond.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Red and Black Batman.
Static Shock, bring it back.
Man, look.
I keep telling them. If they need somebody to play Virgil Hawkins in like a movie, they need to just call me. I don't understand why they won't call me.
He's supposed to come out with his own movie, I thought, isn't he?
He was supposed to be in video games and everything. Like, we need a petition. Justice for my dude Virgil. Because he was supposed to be in one of the Injustice games. They took him out. He should have had a remake.
He popped up in Batman Beyond as Old Man Virgil.
I'm mad y'all didn't. Like
that was.
Didn't he pop up in what you call it?
And then in the new, in what was it? The Young Justice. He played. I think he was in there too.
In the one
but
show,
that was it.
Yeah, Young Justice. That's the.
I guess.
Yeah, put the petition out and then put my name at the bottom too.
Young Justice, and they canceled that now.
Snow for static.
Right. Start the hashtag Snow for Static Shock.
Right. Justice for Virgil. Like, come on. I need some. I want some new cosplay costumes. Like, I need to see an upgraded version of his jacket with the goggles.
That's what the people want.
The black.
Let me know. I'll do it.
The yellow.
I'll do that for y'all. I do that for you. I do that for you, man. Let me know. And I tell you that for free.
Yeah. Go ahead, model for us.
It's an exclusive.
Oh my God. So is this what we have to look forward to for the future?
Yes.
As
Work.
long as it's on CW, we should be fine.
What did you used to watch?
Well, he's probably going to be there.
Yeah, they're doing something weird.
Maybe, Warner Brothers kind of have things.
Yeah.
Let's just pray for the future and not. Yeah, okay. I see.
No comment. As in last season. Still
no comment yet. You don't know what's further down on the podcast.
No comment.
Not yet.
But but you want to know what I used to watch?
Yeah.
I did watch I did watch stuff after school a lot. The WB Kids with the Animaniacs and stuff like that. And even with like on the weekends with Fox Kids. And then I watched some Toonami, not a lot of Toonami, but some shows on there. It was mostly Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
and Sailor Moon. I think that also came on there as well. I don't know if
Yeah.
it came on Toonami or whenever it came on. But yeah, and then there was also, I'm not sure if it was USA, TNT, or
Which show?
TBS. They used to have a whole bunch of kids shows on there. And
I
I
know there
remember
was-
it used to
Yes.
come on in the morning, and they'd be like, in a minute.
Yeah.
And it'd be, okay, I was-
TNT.
They had moved Sailor Moon
I know
to there. It
TBS
used to
had old
like come on
school
about like
Mortal
5:30 or
Kombat.
6. Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I used to watch that, and then there was also there was a show because we didn't always have I'm sorry, but we didn't always have cable. So there was a show that used to come on. It was called Chase. It was an anime. I actually recently watched it a few months ago, and I was watching it online. I think it was called Jace and the something. I don't know, but it was like
What
really
happened?
old. And I was like, what? I said, I remember this show, and it was
What was
like
the
they
show
would go
about?
around, and they were like out in space, and they had like these kind of like machines, but they looked like construction like trucks, but they were like equipped to battle. I don't know. It was a good show though. It was funny.
Oh,
But
you're obviously
said
talking about
Jace?
Josie and the Pussycats.
Jason
I
the
know.
something. I can't remember what it's called.
That's all right. I was thinking more like Jim and the Holograms. That's where I was going for. That's where I was going.
I was thinking of Space Cases. So I was like, one of those two shows he was talking about,
No,
maybe.
it wasn't that show.
Good show. Because remember, Rattle's strong.
I mean,
You're also childish.
right.
Yeah, hit me up. Drop it in the group. Drop
Find
it
for
in the
you
group
guys,
chat.
and
Drop
I'll
it in the group
let you
chat.
know.
I'm teaching people. Put a soul lamp.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Hunger Games.
Wizard. Snow.
I'm not
You guys want a
involved.
Hunger Game for who
I
gets
may
to
be
go
the
next?
protagonist, but I can
Yeah.
see. You go right ahead.
I'm
I
sneaking
mean-
conniving, so I mean, us in the darkness, we find a way.
I believe both of those statements.
I'll start us. So I think like going off what Icino said, yes, Animaniacs, Batman Beyond was always one. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon were like my two biggest ones.
Oh
I think
my
that was
God.
always on the like where I was like so immersed in Yu-Gi-Oh! To where like I was playing the video games and like I'm Yugi. I draw a card. I gotta win this. The heart of the cards will guide me. And I was like deep in it. I got made fun of. Like my family was like,
See, I was more
Absolutely
like
not.
Joey Wheeler. I was more
The
like
power
Joey
of
Wheeler.
friendship.
the power of friendship.
Friendship goes strong.
And aura. Don't forget that aura.
Right.
Yeah.
The heart of the cards.
If
You
you pull the
guys,
right
the heart of the
card.
cards
You
will
gotta have
guide
a strong
you.
will.
And I always lost
you know
trying
what?
to do the heart of the cards. I had to learn strategy.
Same. It does not work. Yugi's a liar.
Right. Like I feel like I should sue that damn show. Like I was defrauded. I lost some of my best
Actually,
cards following the heart of the cards.
Let's start it.
Good luck.
But you know one I'm thinking about though, I think it was mostly on Sundays, and I do not remember what the actual channel was, but I remember going to church on Sundays when I, used to attend, and Sonic and Tails had a show. And I was like,
Adventures.
Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails. I was like, yes, honestly, love Tails. Care less for Sonic. That's
Oh.
a debate for another show.
Hold on.
But like, I was a big fan of Tails.
We might need to run that back. I mean, I don't give a fuck about Sonic either, but I mean, Knuckles was my dude, but Tails.
I mean, Tails, he had something. He could fly.
He did. He fly super fast with his tails.
I guess as long as they didn't turn, as long as they didn't knot up or nothing. I guess. I mean, could you? Like he probably got arthritis in the tails. I mean, so anyway, Snow.
Miles Tails
What's
Prower
good?
is the best character in the whole franchise.
Boom. Listen,
Oh no, fuck
honestly,
that. I should have skipped you. What was up with that?
Yeah, I mean, he's the best.
yes.
He's the best character.
Tails.
He's just the
There's
best.
so many more characters.
And you know what?
besides mine.
You know what?
That's
The
beyond
top 3 characters in the Sonic franchise is
Wow.
No. I know better for
he's,
next
he's
time.
a character, is what he is. He's
the
just
best,
one of the, on the roster.
the best 3 characters in the
He's one of the
franchise.
main
The
characters.
best 3 characters in the
Yeah.
franchise are Miles Tails Prower, Blaze the Cat, and Shadow the Hedgehog. Those are the 3 best characters in this franchise.
I will say
Shadow.
Shadow.
I'm with you on
Shadow.
Shadow, but you know what?
I agree
You left
with
out
that.
my nigga Knuckles, and I'm mad about that. So no,
Y'all
I'll
not
call
messing with Blaze.
violation. Have several.
Y'all not messing with Blaze the Cat?
You would not do Knuckles like that,
You can't
especially if
forget
you go
Knuckles. He
put
was the-
tails on him. No,
He was the original protagonist, right?
yeah, but no, fuck that. Justice for
man.
Knuckles. Y'all not gonna do
Yeah,
Knuckles
man.
like that.
And
Especially
y'all,
for
and y'all not
Tails.
messing with Blaze. Y'all not,
Tails over Knuckles?
and y'all
No.
not messing with Blaze the Cat.
Yeah,
Y'all not messing with
I
Blaze
would
the
put him
Cat.
like maybe in the top 5. I mean, he's definitely not number
Oh,
one.
no, you want to talk about Justice?
Well,
She came later.
Cool.
right. Yeah.
She's good in Mario versus Sonic.
Marvel versus
in the
Sonic
Wii
3.
game, the Mario versus Sonic. Good in
I
that.
heard the Weekenders.
So-
Mario and
Yeah.
Sonic at the Olympics. That's what it's called.
I do want to
She
ask a
was good
question.
at that.
So, who's going to see the Mario movie?
Me.
Probably
Yeah,
me.
I'm
forever.
I'm
Our whole
definitely
lives.
going.
Literally our
I
whole
feel like
lives.
this is like a huge chunk of my childhood. I've been waiting for this.
Literally our whole lives. We're waiting for
Just
this.
never seen Sonic. I can't wait till they do the
Ever,
crossover.
ever.
Right. So,
Well, let's not. Hold on, because
I just-
let's
I
not
just
shit on the
hope they don't
original
fuck it up.
Mario
Well, for
movie.
it to be done
because-
right.
yikes.
I remember, I watched that.
I'm not,
No,
but
I,
it was
I put that movie on
I
for my
liked
son
it.
the other day.
it was cringeworthy. I'll
This was
tell
like
you
a
that.
month or 2 ago, and he literally at one point he looked at me. He's like, Dad? Like he was so confused by having like halfway through. And keep in mind, he's 7, and he looked at me
It's
like, "Man, what is
cringeworthy. It
this?"
was
Like,
cringeworthy.
Right.
so- And I was like, this is culture. I was like, this is culture. And I looked him dead in the eyes. I looked at him dead and I said, we survived
This is what we had to deal
Okay.
with when we were younger.
So, okay. So,
We survived.
right.
Did it.
So we try to tell people now, like this, you have an option to watch this. We didn't. We had to watch this. This is it.
This is all we had. This is it.
These spike braziers and all this other shit they get in here. We had to live with this. Them blocky dance moves, them characters used to give us. You remember them poor excuse for strippers? All them strippers dance like they had bullet wounds in their ankle.
Oh my god, that's funny. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but
Okay. No, it's fine. I went off.
oh no,
but you know, you Knuckles. That's my little one shit. We go.
Here, I'm gonna tell
Jace
you guys
and the
the
Wheeled
episode
War-
by the
I'm-
name
I'm
of the
hitting
show.
Google
It's
now.
called Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. That's the name of the show.
Right.
Sounds like Bob
Like a
Builder.
T-shirt knockoff.
Is
Right,
it
but
Jace?
I'm gonna give it a try, even if it's like Blue's
Good
Clues. I'm gonna give it a try.
It's not.
Oh, YC.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not. Jayce and the Wheeled. Yeah.
So I do want to ask you guys something. So going back to what Dark Wizard was saying earlier before we move on, he was talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. So there were other card games too, Pokemon, which is still around, and then we have some other short-lived
Duel
ones like
Masters.
Digimon. Yeah, Duel Masters. There was So what was some of the card games you guys used to play as a child? I know I had Pokemon cards. I even had Digimon cards, even though nobody else played Digimon. So there's
I
that.
played Pokemon.
I had Pokemon cards, but I feel like when
I
Yu-Gi-Oh
didn't play. I
came
don't think
out,
I played it right though. And then when I did, I sucked. And I stopped playing after that.
see, I feel like when Yu-Gi-Oh cards came out, that was kind of it. I did once I got the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, that was it.
I'm not gonna.
But I mean,
All right, I'm not gonna lie.
What
Hot
was some of
take.
the
I
things
never
you
learned how
used
to play the
play?
Pokemon
Stop.
card game. Never
what
learned.
did you
it.
used to get into?
I'm gonna be the most controversial. I'm gonna be the most controversial character in this whole RPG. I never learned how to play the original. I had some of the cards. I can't remember where we was getting these shits from. We all had those gold Mew and Pikachu cards. I had a bunch of them. I had a bang of those things. Was it McDonald's? Yeah. Yep. I had a bunch of those. I did collect the Pokemon cards because I liked the way they looked. But I ain't gonna cap. I still have all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I got the whole Seto Kaiba briefcase and everything. I got all of them still. I've still got like 8 different decks, and I would love to start playing again, but I can't find any grown men in my local area who are willing to swallow the bullet and play with me. So
they're around,
dude. Me, I got so many Yu-Gi-Oh cards I still have, and I have nobody to duel. I'd be sitting up here like, fuck, I need somebody to duel. I think when me and Icy Notes went to, I think we went to that was our tour of the comic shops in the area and stuff. There was Yu-Gi-Oh cards there, and I was gonna buy them, but I'm like, shit, it'd be a waste of money because I don't have nobody to play with.
I never was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. So.
Really?
I tried to watch it. I didn't understand it. I don't think it was.
I mean, if anybody interested in starting a Yu-Gi-Oh league, let me know. I'm always. I mean, what's good, Miley?
You put on it.
And you do know we live in an age right now of technology. We can play Yu-Gi-Oh online with the Duel Masters game that's already out.
You know what I hadn't thought about that. I honestly hadn't.
He already builds the decks and stuff like that. You don't spend real money on that. You already just took the time to do it that way. I already had a deck on there.
Yeah.
We need human interaction.
Yeah, it's the same deck. Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Masters. But you play on it on consoles too as well.
Well, yeah, because it's on Xbox, isn't it?
Every console and every video.
I think it's all every console.
Okay, quick tangent, and I won't do this again. I promise. Does anybody else remember Yu-Gi-Oh and the Duelist of the Roses? Y'all remember that? Do you remember that? Right? So
one of my favorite games.
Yes.
So I don't know how I didn't think about that until now.
Yes.
All right, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page because now that it's.
I didn't follow you.
God.
Honestly, bring it back.
You brought up a gem, right?
Right. I mean,
and the one on GameCube was the best Yu-Gi-Oh game ever.
Yes, that was mine. But
I feel like I need to
no, it's by the
I don't want to be the
by the end of this, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the
He's a phony.
I got too much to go over. I know.
A great big phony.
So speaking of, so since Black Star was the last one to include something, so Black Star, what did you used to play?
I'll be honest, always played the Pokemon video games and never touched the cards. I used to collect them because it was nice and worthy. And just like everybody else, just like everybody else, my cards disappeared somehow in a big move, so I never got them all. I had a holographic Gengar, Charizard, and a couple other ones too as well. And now they're gone to somewhere. But I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Those are my favorite ones to play on there. I recently started playing Magic a little bit, attempting to play Magic the Gathering. And I have no idea what I'm doing.
I want to learn Magic the Gathering. Side note, I do want to say Dungeons and Dragons. I do want to see that, but I want to learn how to play too. I had learned and then I forgot, unfortunately. So I want to learn again.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. No.
One place we was at
Phoenix too. It was Magic the Gathering, and it was.
What was they playing? He was showing us how the little pieces we had to get.
Two of the tables were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and then there was one table that was playing Magic the Gathering, or it might have been two tables playing Magic the Gathering and one playing Dungeons and Dragons. But
good LARPing. It depends what they had. They had cards.
Well, I had learned how to play Dungeons and Dragons before, and I forgot Magic the Gathering. I never learned, but I do want to learn how to play it.
I'm down for it. Oh, I would love it.
Maybe that's a group project.
Yes.
Because
I really do Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably best.
I'm down for that too. I already have a collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! cards, so I mean, let's go.
We can do video games. We can stream it one day.
I'm ready for a Blerd Duel League. Let's go.
Blerd video game challenge. Yu-Gi-Oh! challenge.
We Pokemon trainers together.
Is that to the audience?
We could be doing this together.
To the audience and everybody.
Uh-oh.
Tune in next time on Iron Blerd.
Challenge.
GTO
I'm
challenge.
not the only
The
one
smoke-
that know that episode of Cosby Show.
Smoke.
Okay.
Who wants to smoke? That's all I want to know. I want all
I'm
the
only
smoke.
about the fighting game
Chili
smoke.
smoke,
I love
smoke,
fighting game smoke.
Weed smoke, especially the wheat smoke.
Yeah, we still got to jump on the guilty gear. We still got to jump on the guilty gear. I know I got to dust my boots off. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at you was talking about how good you was, and I was looking at your gamer tag, and I was sweating. But so I still got. I was sweating. I got to dust the boots off. I've been on all these RPGs. I got to dust my fighting game boots off. But I'll get there. Guilty Gear is a completely different game than King of Fighters. I'll tell you that much right now. I'll tell you that for free. So, yeah, it's gonna be there.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh.
Get ready for Street Fighter.
So my blurds.
There can only be one.
Well, before we get to kicking each other's asses off the ledge. So, you guys, I do want to shift gears for a minute, and I do want to ask us something a little bit more personal, because, we're joking, we're having fun. Let's leave them with something leave them with something. So, we're
Something to think about.
the three of us, we're here last season. You guys are our two new hosts. Everybody kind of knows each other or are familiar with each other. But, I don't think we really know, like, since, well, you used to know him. You have to get reacquainted. All right, Mariah. So, we haven't really like talked together about like what do we expect from this podcast. The five of us knew each other individually as friends and whatever, but not really together doing this. What do we expect out of this podcast, out of each other? Let's see. Who can I drag to the front and embarrass? Let's see.
Dark Wizard.
That's just what I was thinking. I was coming down that dark road.
Wow.
The wizard. Whip
This
your
is
ass on
singling
out here.
out for me.
The Wiz.
Right. Come on in. He's on now.
Copyright.
Right.
Right. Stop.
I was
Cut
about
it
to
out.
break it.
Dang it.
I was about to break in no bad news, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
I think for me, this is really cool because like with this podcast, it's nice to like have other people to like discuss like nerd culture stuff with, but also share it with an audience of people. Just because like growing up, I never really had that as far as when it comes to playing video games and anime and things like that. Like it was always just me by myself, and then my siblings didn't really understand it. My parents didn't understand it. And, so as I, getting older, I'm meeting other people that are like into this stuff. So I think one big thing I'm expecting out of this is just to learn some new stuff when it comes to like this nerd culture, but also like build off of what I know too, to like, really immerse myself in this culture.
That sounds like a very pageant answer.
I work in my pageant. This is a Dark Wizard from Ohio. What's the quote from Miss Congeniality? Where she talks about what is it? April? What is it? It's some date that she said. She's like, seems like a nice day or something like that. I gotta.
I'm trying to. Wait, was it Miss Congeniality the first one or the second one? Which one?
No, I think it was the first one, definitely.
Okay. I know what you're talking about because that's when she got the award for Miss Congeniality. I know what you're talking about, and I really do want you guys to have a night. I remember that. I'm trying to remember what she said.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I think it was like World Peace or something like that.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Doesn't it really do wish for world peace?
It's locked away in my memory. Maybe.
It's good.
Is it though?
It is.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Is it one of those movies you think is really good when you watch it? Like, oh, I like this.
The second one is even better, if you ask me.
And we're back. Technical and still having technical difficulties. But we're back anyway. Before the unexpected break, I see those. We were talking about, what you expect out of, us as a podcast. So come on, you in your pageant era. What you got for us?
Well, as a black woman, still we gonna rap. No,
come through, Maya.
Honestly,
you better be the hope of the slaves.
Coming in with the heat.
Yes, from the hope of the slaves.
My brow.
But anyway, from my standpoint, from being here from before as one of the OGs, but I feel that we're gonna. I think we're gonna be taken higher. I feel that Dark Wizard and the Protagonist are both good additions to the channel. I think I can see us doing more this time around. I mean, we got a lot of good ideas going around as of right now. I just can't wait to see it actually come out. I mean, I already got a shirt, so I know we're gonna start talking about doing merch and stuff like that. I can't wait for stuff like we actually get to the more like fun stuff.
Why does that make us official? This is fun for me.
Yes, I mean this is fun too, but talking about fun, like we can go out and meet people. Like I'm ready for more stuff like that. So, and I have a feeling with this group that we have now, I think we can achieve that. Whether we all show up or not, at least somebody will be there to represent us.
Somebody in the house.
There we go.
Yeah, man.
So let's go with Black Star. What do you expect out of us? Out of the podcast? What are you excited for?
I'm excited for some new episodes to come out with a little bit different flavor for a little bit of everything. Not just sticking to reviews and everything like that. Just a little bit of some anime goodness, video game goodness, just a little bit of everything. Just a fun group of friends talking about stuff. Just the merch thing sounds nice. We get to that eventually, but overall, I'm just ready to sit back, talk to people, have fun. We can go a pretty long way. I mean, we hit season 1. This will be season 2, so we can make it through there too as well. We can get there.
Maybe. Hopefully, we can be here for
Maybe.
That's the answer he gave us. A very vanilla answer.
Hey, I'm a very vanilla guy. I stick to it. Ain't you call me the logic rock? Stick to logic.
Well, Snow, we sliding it on over to you. How's it feel to be here with you?
I just want to beat Joe Rogan. That's all I want to do. That's it. I don't care about anything else. No, seriously. Yeah, he's the podcast mob boss, and we got to figure something out because. Man, I'm excited about just everything, just getting the name out, getting the word out, expanding the community, getting our group together, like our adventurers, our fans, our people, our cult babies, like whatever you want to call them, like just.
Oh Lord, please don't use the C word. We're gonna enter somebody's YouTube. The Iron Blerd. But what are they really like? What's behind really that fortress?
I mean, any publicity is good publicity sometimes. You never know. But I am excited about
nobody outside my house with a slide.
But yeah, just
pastor at my door praying for me.
I just want to make a name out of the Iron Blerds and just get the name out. And growing up how we grew up, getting put on a T-shirt wasn't a good thing, but now we can make it a great thing. You know what I mean? Like, so just shooting for the moon and show where you can pass the net. Yeah, just like that. And I bet better not be them tacky ass angel wings on it either. We don't do that. We don't do that. But yeah, all jokes aside,
on a picture of you.
All jokes aside, though, I do see this podcast doing some pretty big things, doing some pretty big numbers, and just making people more comfortable with what they're into and in their own skin and their interest, and just making a community that nobody needs to feel ashamed of what they're into and what they like to do in their spare time, and make everybody comfortable and happy. That's basically what I'd like to do here. That's why I'm the main character.
Oh, we all congenial. Oh, so sweet.
I'll be the fun fat side character. I'll be that.
I'll be the Logic Rock.
So
Well, you can be Moesha. I'll be Kim. Kim Parker.
Why? You don't know. Kim didn't like being the fat friend. We can't do that.
But she was funny.
She was. So guys, so I think for me, I'm still kind of like shy and awkward sometimes. Like if you put me in group settings, I'm like, I gotta have something to smoke, or I'm gonna be in cardiac arrest in the corner, curled up and on ball. Like, why am I here? Why are all these people looking at me? What happened? That's when I go home and grab a controller.
Facts.
Yeah. But see, I know I'm not the only one that goes through that. Even as a grown man, when you are, told that, especially us, all of us here are black. Nobody can see us, but we're all people of color.
Well, some of us questionable.
They're gonna be like,
if you couldn't tell by the tone of the conversation, there's some flavor in here.
They're gonna be like,
some
what?
people is unseasoned in here.
Yeah,
oh my god.
They just unsubscribe.
There's a few unseasoned people in here.
I'm sorry. Let me fix it. Well, when I was a little lad growing up, I just, I wanted to say that. But no, in all honesty, like it took a lot to be, for me to be able to joke like this, and I think people will find me weird and stuff. Like anime and seeing all the little weird shit they used to do and stuff. That was home for me.
Absolutely.
The little misunderstood characters, the loners, and that was me. And I know I'm not the only person that was like that. I'm not the only person that's like that now. Like, I think doing this, especially doing it with your friends, is a way for us to, meet tons of other people like that. Friends, fans, IX, whatever you want to call them. And I think this could be fun for us. So I'm ready.
Yeah, me too.
Elevation.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So now that we
I don't
Get
think
it
you're
on.
ready.
I'm sorry. Let's rock it. There you go. Better song.
Yep, there's the vanilla frame.
They go to copyright too. You gonna keep on shouting these. You gonna keep on shouting these copyrighted lines out. Forget everything we just said. There will be no more Iron Blurs because we won't have any money. They done took it all.
I don't know which show it's from. There can be like SNK, anything else like that. A lot of things.
So I have to ask you guys because we're in a podcast. There's 5 of us. We have our own different individual opinions. Sometimes those opinions aren't liked. So with nerd culture and nerds in general, there are some strong opinions. So I want to ask you guys something just for fun and to cause a little bit of bullshit. So what are your thoughts on the current nerd culture? What do you like? What pisses you off? What is just even if something just you find odd about the culture? So I'm gonna toss it to who didn't go first before. I like this. Black Star. Let's put you on the mic.
Let me make sure I heard your question. So, what do we find odd about this?
Just what do you think of the current nerd culture? Just what are your thoughts of it?
I mean, it's a random melting pot. I enjoy it for this most aspect of it. I love it for the social media wise. It gives you time to word up and meet other people who like the same shit that you like. I mean, it's not crazy yet, but I enjoy it. Most times I get done watching stuff and I go like, that's my people. I love that. Especially when we get out and doing stuff like having the conventions that everybody break out and dancing and stuff like that to random mashups like Bleach mixed with another song like that. That's the best part of it. Just makes you go like, feel alive to be a blerd sometimes. I mean, it's not too big or nothing too crazy, but
so I will follow
I
up
understand
when we're done because I want to start some more shit. But before we get there, Snow, what do you think of our current nerd culture?
There's a lot of stigma around it. It's very stinky. I feel like it's shifted though, because 90s babies who grew up watching the stuff that we did, we're all in our own little pocket, and I think in the community where you have like your bronze, golden, and like bronze, silver, and golden age. You know what I mean? I feel like we're like the 90s babies are like the silver age. You know what I mean? We didn't quite grow up and get to watch Dragon Ball and all the, you know, case closed and old stuff, but we came like right after that. And I feel like that specific generation of us, we've become okay with being recluses. Whereas like the younger generations who are growing up watching stuff like My Hero and you know, like Beastars and Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that, a lot of them are more outspoken just because of the age of social media that we live in. So I feel like there's levels to it, you know what I mean? And for the most part, there is a stinky stigma about people who like anime and video game and stuff. Like, oh, you go to an anime convention, nobody wears deodorant, or none of them have girlfriends, or, you know, stuff like that. And
yeah, damn.
Yeah,
that's a turn.
Yeah, and I mean,
it is very strong. It is very strong.
You said it wanted to be. You wanted it to not be light. So, you know, like, let's get a little heavy. And I do feel like there is some scrutiny within the community from people from the outside looking in. But when you're in the inside looking around, it's just all love, baby. You know what I mean? But I think what our job is to do here with this podcast is to kind of tear that wall down, if that makes any sense, just because I don't feel like social life and nerd life should be mutually exclusive. You know what I mean? Everybody should just love everybody and be allowed to be what they're into. So that's what I think about the current state of the community right now.
So I want to ask this too, just kind of to. So do you think that because you know, when us here, specifically, I can't talk tonight. Started getting into this stuff, you know, we got a lot of shame and a lot of, especially with us being, you know, black boys, we were supposed to play sports and all this other stuff. And so, you know, we had a lot of shame for us being into that type of stuff. Do you think that kind of like carries over now as we're adults? There's still a little shame associated with it. So even though it's all out in the open now and it's such this enjoyable thing, there's still that little bit of, especially with us being older, you guys still watch, you guys went and seen Superman. Yes, I would probably be the 55-year-old with the Superman cape on his back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Call me what you want. Just stay the hell out of my way. I'm still going to see the movie.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
I can't tell you how many people look at me when they meet me, like at my work or like just out, and like, oh, what sport did you play? Because they see, you know, a 6 foot tall, 185 pound muscle black guy with dreadlocks. They assume I'm doing something athletic.
So you play
related,
and I'd be like,
basketball.
And I'm like, big man. I was in the marching band. I went to anime club. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like,
me too.
Like, why did that label get put on me immediately? I feel like that's what I mean by like the stigma. You know what I mean? Because nobody would ever look at me and assume, oh, he loves the Sailor Scouts. You know, nobody would ever think that. You know, so
I get that.
So, and I think again, that's what I mean by that stigma of like, it shouldn't be mutually exclusive. So I'm glad you did bring that up. 100%.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of the questions I get when people first meet me and stuff is, oh, what's your favorite sports team? It's like,
I don't know.
Shit, I don't know. Just, I don't know. Pick one for me. I don't care. Ask me, did Goku collect all 7 Dragon Balls last week? I can answer that question for you.
Yeah.
Ask me how many times Max from Living Single tore a hole in Kaz's ass. I can answer that for you. But ask me something about Tom Brady, Reggie Bush, whoever. Yeah, bro. We hit Wikipedia. I
immediately.
You know, I do. I mean, I watch some sports. I don't watch a lot of it. I mean, I did play, but I did a lot. So I'm kind of like in the middle of that.
I mean,
you know, that whole down. I'm right down the middle of it. I didn't really get too many people telling me like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that," or they're more like, "Oh, you into that?" Yes, and then that was the end of the conversation most of the time for me. I never really had that. I never felt excluded from anything.
Right.
I know the same boat as him. I did a lot of sports myself. I did taekwondo, track, and that's a little bit. I kind of get the happy medium, things like that. And usually in my case, I wear my gloves and stuff. People are like, "Oh my god, you watch that show too?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool, yo, I love that show."
See, I did all of that.
Something like that.
See, I did all of that. I played football, I played basketball, like ran track, but I also like marched in the band. I sketched, I danced, I did those type of things. So it was kind of like I was on the side of it where, oh, I play football, I play football. Oh, you good? But then when somebody finds out, oh, he likes to dance, he likes to draw, it kind of negated the fact that I played sports.
Like, I read a 5'4". What do you mean?
Especially right, like you can't throw a football and run around pretending you Sailor Jupiter. Who does that? Me, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right.
I never had that issue at all.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. I was waving at you from the other side of the fence. They hadn't quite let me over there yet. So it was kind of like that. So no matter what I did,
Yeah,
it kind of,
yeah.
especially, huh?
I was just saying I was in the mix of different groups. I'm intermingled. So
See, and I did like a lot of people knew my name. I just didn't. I don't know. It was weird. And sports was kind of like an obligation. I didn't really have too much fun with it because I didn't really care for it. I can hold a conversation about it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. But yeah. So, but Snow, you got something you want to add, man?
Since we're on the topic of school, how many of you men wore your Naruto headbands to school at least once?
I don't have one, and I want one.
Me,
So if everybody ever wants to give me something for my birthday,
I have
I
a
wore mine to
Ranger
school
hat and a regular hat that has Naruto headband on it.
because I love Shikamaru, and
Or the
I had the arm one, and I wore it to school all the time. And I got thumbs up from all the people that I hung out with, but then the people thought that I hung out with, like the football and basketball players, they weren't my friends no more.
I will say,
You know what?
can confirm.
You can confirm
with
because
you
you were in
and,
school with me. You can confirm
Dark
this.
Wizard, wouldn't y'all? When y'all went to school together, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we did. You can confirm.
and I remember. And it's
I
funny
went
you
to
say that
school
you
with.
bring this up because I remember being like, "Oh man, this is so cool that he is like wearing this stuff and like proudly,
'Cause I didn't care.
wearing it." Because I think for me, I was kind of like, "Well, yeah, I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I don't want people to see me playing my Game Boy SP or anything like that." Like I was always very like, "Oh no."
I didn't give a shit. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I wore the Sharingan eye contacts and everything. I didn't care.
But
I
see,
guess so.
but see though, when I went to school with you, Snow, you didn't dress like that.
I know because I was scared. Because
So,
it took me getting into my junior year of high school to be like, you know what, screw this shit. I'm gonna be me. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just do what I like to do, and then I start wearing the contacts and the armbands and finding pants with zippers, and you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. I had to do it.
but before we get too far off topic, Icy Notes, what do you think of the culture?
I think there's a lot of exclusion most of the time when it comes to different. It's almost like everybody got their own little sect or their own little people that they deal with, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to, like I said, intermingling with everybody, and just even when we did go around to those different comic book stores and stuff like that.
Yeah,
If you notice, some people are like super friendly and open, and we could talk about different things. And then we went to that one, and it was actually the bigger one, and then like nobody. It's like because we wasn't part of that little group.
right.
It's just kind of like we were just kind of like just there. So it's like, and it's like instead of like trying to be more welcoming, it needs to be a little more. It would be nice to have a little more welcoming. Sometimes with certain areas you go to, or certain
Yeah.
when certain people do certain things, and that's unfamiliar to me.
Certain
So
people like the gatekeep.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just it's weird. That's weird to me. It's like for us to be the outside people, and we're still putting people on the outside of the outside. Like, what? Really? So
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I see that a lot, and but I mean, other than that, I mean, I do appreciate from where it came from, definitely, and then how everything is being a little more mainstream, with different stuff, like Snow said about the with social media being a bigger, is more prevalent in this day and age with this generation of people, and they have the means to actually connect with other people other than people in their hometown, especially if they're from a smaller area. So
Yeah.
but
Right.
yes, and I know when you said, I was like, oh gosh, that is true. Because we had to physically go outside and find people to
Right.
connect with. Physically go out there.
But
Because
it's
we
a lot
all
more people
30-ish
like
is in this group, right? I believe
Yeah.
Not
so.
the back of my day. I'm 20.
Right. Not my day either.
So
We had anime
y'all
club,
better
but it still works.
y'all bring y'all asses over here and collect these extra years. Don't be trying to hide from them.
I was about to say, and the whole thing about the with about the conventions. Now, sorry,
Yes,
you
sir.
remember what I said before when we went to play Pokemon Go? And you remember that? Remember how everybody was out there running around and I said, this is a very unattractive bunch. I'm sorry, but I did say that. And I was like, oh man.
All right.
You can tell we ain't been off the couch in a minute.
Hey, look. True story though. He's not lying.
But that was so long ago.
Yes. We have grown since then. But
Yes,
before
we
you
have.
before you tell us any more stories that get us canceled. Dark Wizard.
I apologize in advance.
What do you think of the culture?
You know what? What I got to say about the culture, it might be controversial, but I'm gonna say there is more than Dragon Ball Z and the Akatsuki. We gotta get rid of it. It's gotta go. It's gotta go.
It's more than those two animes out in the world. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. I love that it's like the nerd culture has expanded. Everybody has like really gotten into it and at least getting a touch of it. I genuinely love that for people. But for, like we all were saying, for people like us that have been like into it for a while, or yes, like I like it and I don't like it, but I'm always like, okay, you got these two animes under your belt. Okay, fine. Branch out. One more. Chainsaw Man. Right. Listen, there's some other ones that are pretty out there. I won't say Fairy Tail because I feel like people are very controversial when it comes to Fairy Tail. That's my favorite.
Same. But, people just call it fan service, but it's still good.
There are other, animes out there. So I think, but that might be a mixture of, maybe there not being as much merchandise for other animes, and then like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z are like the biggest ones, so that's like easy to get.
Pokemon, don't forget Pokemon,
and Pokemon too. Yeah, easy to get stuff like that for those. So yeah. I mean, it could be a little bit of that too.
So I want to say this, and then I got one more question for us because we gotta wrap it up soon. It's been fun, but the time has come. I agree with all of you guys. I see you. I agree with all of you guys. I like that we're out there now and it doesn't have to be so, isolated. But I mean, I feel like the more popular it is, the more people try to gatekeep, like Icy Notes was saying, and it's a lot. Like, to be somebody portraying one of these characters and to see the shit some of them go through, it's like sometimes the people in this fandom really need to just breathe. It's not that serious. You guys take all the fun out of stuff sometimes.
It's not real.
Right. Right. Like, I mean, please. Nobody is knocking how passionate you were, but bro, really. I need you to go find a relationship or something, or if relationships ain't your thing, I need you to find a puppy, a cat, something warm and cuddly, something to bring you some love, some joy.
Lick your own bean.
Something like that. Nobody can do you better than you can do you, whatever the case may be. Find you some comfort somewhere. Because coming from, most of us being judged, for whatever the case may be, look, color, whatever. This just ain't the look. So with that being said, let's end this on a more fun note. So we do have one question left. So what was your guys' highest achievement? Like, do you guys have a favorite console, a favorite video game console, and what was like your favorite achievement, favorite game you beat, or something like that? Black Star, let's start with you.
My favorite game that I beat or completed, or just the all-time game that made me feel complete after I beat it?
I mean, what gave you the best feeling? You know, what felt better than sex, if I could say that. Sorry if there's anybody underage listening to this.
Um, that's a very hard decision on what song, what video game like that. I would say something recent. A recent game I'm playing, Wulong. Beating that first boss that everybody's been stuck on and playing mode online gave me such completion and so much happiness just beating that one fucking boss. Don't tell me how many times I rage quit. I had him like 15 times and finally almost threw my controller each time. When I finally beat him, it was the happiest day of my life. It was like, oh my god, I finally beat him. And I turned the game down, never turned it back on again for a little bit because there was so much completion. But I think it's something a little bit classic wise. I don't think finally beating Super Mario World, the Super NES game, that one, beating that when it finally came out to the Switch again online, that gave me so much joy. I think I got stuck when I was a child on certain levels because I didn't put much brain power behind certain puzzles in that game and certain hidden things. I just kind of gave up on it. But when I finally came across it, I was like, this is good. So much completion lost somebody. That's all.
So, Dark Wizard, what about you?
I think for me, I have two. So I just recently beat Final Fantasy X, like maybe last year or something like that. As a teenager playing that game, like it just could not beat it. And I don't know if it was just I didn't understand strategy or whatever. So like to beat that was kind of like oh my gosh, like I like killed it, like I am the greatest. But you know, like very like far gone from when I was a teenager. But when I was a kid, I had a cousin I used to play Tekken 3 with all the time. And he was so good at the game. And I remember beating him for the first time in Tekken 3. And I remember being like, yeah, I got you. You a loser. And, you know, talking all this crap. Meanwhile, the score was like 26 to like 1 or something like that. But you know what? I got my W, and that's all that mattered.
I mean, hey, look, as long as you got the win, that's all that matters. We work out the shit at a later date. I won. Icy Notes, come on, join the fun. What was your proudest moment?
If I had to pick one, probably finally beating this was taking me way back, but Mortal Kombat 11, the Deadly Alliance. And I finally beat the what's the guy's name? Quan Chi.
Oh, Quan Chi, yeah.
Quan Chi. Did you say Mortal Kombat 11? Deadly Alliance. Mortal Kombat 11. Deadly Alliance.
Deadly Alliance.
Love that game.
Yeah.
I thought you said Mortal Kombat 11. Deadly Alliance.
No,
like that's the newest one mixed with that.
I don't think he said 11. I
didn't mean to say 11.
It's like, I'm like, that's not the same one. Sorry.
No.
I
did say 11. I apologize before we get it. Even within these few people here, you said 11? Oh my god. Okay.
You
it people was a mistake if I said 11.
Right. See, that's that part of the fandom I was talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like calling Deadpool Deathstroke or something like that. And I call him
See, look, you are becoming part of the fandom. You do not have to bring that
That's because he's a sourpuss. That's why.
I am not. You know, I'm just saying. Just make sure you get it correct.
Nobody
like comments.
Yes,
You're like,
I would
hey,
say that
this.
just finally beating that game. I'm just gonna overtalk him because he ain't talking that loud anymore. But yes, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. When I finally beat that game, it took me so many tries to beat him. I concentrated hard on trying to finally beat him, and I finally beat him. So that's just the one. But I'm not gonna keep going. Who next?
I mean, so just before we head out, so for me, real quick, I'm actually in the process of doing mine. So, you guys have heard me mention before. One of my favorite games was like Legend of Dragoon. So I never got to finish it because it was 5 discs. I broke the third one. I'm actually working on that now. So my proudest moment is to be continued. So,
good luck.
Thank you. We in for some hard days because these old school graphics or this unconventional way that they made games back then it's wearing on me.
Love
but
it.
we getting through it.
Live for it.
I'm not quite there for that much of a risk. So, guys, you ready to head out of here?
Yeah.
I
All right.
guess.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, let's thank everybody for stopping by and hanging with us. We got a lot more things coming for you guys. Just, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at the Iron Blerds. And, let us know, what was your introduction to the nerd culture? What do you think of the fandom? But, until then, we'll see you next time. Say goodnight, Blerds.
Adios.
Woo.